We're going to try to ask this individual why he is urinating in public. Excuse me, sir. Hi.
Y'all. Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing this fine Tuesday? Okay, so before I start, I just want to say, I don't think this is necessarily a topic that everyone agrees on, okay? But I would just ask if you please, just before you start typing your comments, please just hear me out, okay? I do think it is time. The time is right for us to have a little bit of a State of the Union meeting. Or maybe I'll even just say address. Maybe I'll do the addressing, and then in the comments, you can, say what you think, or maybe you can go make your own video or something. But again, like I'm saying, I believe that some of y'all are going to disagree with this. Knee-jerk reaction is going to be to disagree with me. But I actually think that a lot of the people following me and on this channel, I actually think a lot of the people subscribed to me are nuanced thinkers. And so I am appealing to your nuance before we get started. Okay. I'm appealing to the nuance. I just want you to try for this video. And then if at the end of the video, you still feel like you want to think what you want to think, go ahead, girl, go ahead. Bye. But I would be remiss not to use my platform to make certain statements that I feel like I just need to be made. Okay. And this is one that I think I'm not at risk for having my whole entire life shut down for making the commentary. Okay. So let me show y'all what I came across just now. So before we watch the video, I just want to read the description. It was from 6 days ago. ABC 7 News Bay Area posted it. It says, San Francisco has bathrooms open to the public, maintained by city officials. So why are some people choosing to pee outside on the streets? ABC 7's Leanne Melendez went to Portsmouth Square, okay, so this is the San Francisco area, to figure out the answer. So why are they peeing on the street instead of the free public bathrooms? Okay. So this anchor went to Portsmouth Square to figure out the answer and what the city is doing about it. The link in our bio has more information on the situation. Okay, so we're going to view the video of what happens when Leanne went out there and she tried to ask people what they were doing peeing in the street instead of the bathroom. So first of all, description box alone, that's so anybody could type anything, but there is a video. So we're going to watch the video. Now, anybody could be an actor. I know stuff like that, what y'all are going to say, but just let's, for the purposes of this video that we're doing right now, let's just agree on the assumption. Let's just agree from the assumption that this is real. It's really a man peeing on the side of a building. Okay. With that assumption in mind, which again, I mean, who knows what's real, what's not real, girl. But it's ABC 7. I'm going to do what the current best practices, what they teach you in school to do, rely on a news source. Okay. She's out here. There's a video of it, so let's just take it for what it is. And I know a lot of y'all are probably thinking, well, people are peeing out in the streets because they're without homes and they need somewhere to go and they're living in the city and they need to go somewhere. Okay. Okay, fine. That's not what's going on here. We're told here there's bathrooms maintained by public officials. Okay. So I have more to say, but without further ado, let's just watch a little bit of this publicly aired news clip.
We're going to try to ask this individual why he is urinating in public. Excuse me, sir. Hi. We're with ABC News. My name is Leanne Melendez. I wanted to ask you, you realize there are public bathrooms upstairs, but you choose to urinate here. Could I ask you why?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you?
Yeah.
So she's, first of all, informing him, do you know that there are public bathrooms upstairs where you could have some privacy and, whatever. I mean, she didn't say that. Y'all heard what she just said. But the man says back to her, thank you. Thank you. So I don't know. Maybe the thank you was him saying that he didn't know. Maybe he was thankful. Maybe now he knows, So, I mean, I don't know. Okay. What exactly I'm looking at. There's a lot of considerations, that come into my mind. Like, what's the mental capacity of this person? Maybe he's disabled, stuff like that. I understand all that. Can we hold somebody accountable for a crime if they have a mental incapacity? All that. What I actually want to talk about, though, instead of the details of exactly what we're looking at here, like what is real, what's going on, and all that. What I think I would rather discuss is the knee-jerk reaction that I've seen of some people to just immediately defend this type of behavior. Again, there could be legitimate reasons, okay? Like mental, health, whatever. I don't know. I could think of legitimate reasons that would be like, okay, this one particular specific man, this one specific guy, maybe a collection of specific people. But this knee-jerk reaction that I'm seeing in comments of people to just immediately defend the whole behavior, not the person. Listen to the words I'm saying. Not to immediately defend the person. I have seen that in comments, but that's not what I am addressing. The behavior, the overall blanket behavior that I've seen so many people who are tax-paying individuals who live in cities, stuff like that, who are literally defending the behavior, defending the behavior of peeing in the streets instead of using a public toilet. Y'all, let me play a little bit more of this video before I go further.
Why do you urinate here?
He just simply walked away. The stench in this section of Portsmouth Square is intolerable.
This part, the stench. Okay, so this could be fake news. Somebody in that area of Portsmouth, could you sound off in the chat? Is the stench in that area unbearable?
And offensive. Years of public urination have left their mark on this now corroded pole. When we looked below, we discovered the source of the foul smell. Men urinating in a barren space of the park home to dozens of rat burrows. This is not a designated piece.
They are peeing on the rat burrows.
Those French public outdoor bathrooms. In fact, Portsmouth Square has bathrooms opened to the public only a few feet.
So that is a very, very important aspect of this to me. So I don't need to be getting into the theoretical, what if there was no bathroom? Okay, that's what I've seen a lot of people kind of arguing in these comments, like, well, if there's nowhere to go, beep, I don't want to hear it from you on that one. Okay. We're talking about this particular situation and there is a bathroom. There's a video of it.
Feet away and maintained by recreation and park crews. There is no semblance of privacy here or shame. There is so much accumulated.
And I know what some of y'all are going to say, and I know what some people have already said on the thing, is that this is natural. We're animals do this activity outside, and we're part of nature. That is all fine and good for when we were living in the woods, y'all. When we were living in the forests, the jungles and the trees, that was fine. But if you are going to have a civilization is a specific term. It's the people that moves into metropolises, cities, like the Bay Area, for example. I understand some people are lifelong. They were born there. That's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if you want to behave as an animal, which I have before wanted to do, which is why I would go to the country, riding four-wheelers and getting in the mud and all that. That's where you go to do that stuff. Nobody's going to blink twice down on Bayou Jacob, Bayou Pigeon if you pee into the swamp or off to the side of your boat or something. Nobody's going to be blinking twice. But this is a major international city. Like, I do believe we should agree to certain rules of engagement based on where we are as humans. Okay. And, specifically the United States of America, where I have always lived and grown up, and this is the culture I know. Okay. So I'm speaking, specific to that. But if y'all elsewhere agree, then, sound off. But I'm not saying, anything farther than like what I'm actually saying. And I find that it's become really difficult to criticize like overtly unacceptable behaviors. Now, am I saying again that one guy we saw is like the end all be all evidence? No. But there's so many comments. Look, I think even the top one right here, what's this top comment saying? Without even clicking further, it's probably safer to pee outside than going to the public bathroom. And it's like, this is exactly, I'm glad that that's the first comment without me even having to click further, there's really not a lot of comments. Oh yeah, there are. Let's see. That's the top comment. Well, that was the first comment that shows up. Look. You thought he was going to explain himself to you. Yeah, I mean, what's so funny? But look at all the laughing emojis. It's like, I don't know, maybe this is all bot comments, but even if it is, it fits in perfectly with what I've already been talking about, which is like the astroturfing stuff. Like, there's these narratives online that are so powerful that just like an everyday average person out here on the street might start to think like that. But it's like, y'all, please, I'm ready to like appeal to your greater common sense. I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to call it common sense because truly I could be in the wrong. Maybe people should be peeing all over buildings. But it definitely does seem whenever we are being taxed to the point people can't afford so much as, and then not even only tax, but the people in charge of making decisions, they're euthanizing all the birds. The eggs are $8 a gallon or whatever. I mean, come on, y'all. And the people that are making the decisions are actually driving the cost even further up. And we're being taxed for other people's wars and putting our own loved ones, our own people on the literal front lines in other people's disputes and sacrificing so much tax dollars in particular. And just to have people peeing all over it. And whenever the news asks you about it, the common like 77 likes comment online is like all of these smiley, laughy, haha, it's so funny faces, and he's going to explain himself to you. Yeah, actually, he should, because I happen to come from a very rural background where not only men, but also women and anybody outside in the woods or whatever would just pee wherever. But there was still, even despite that, an element of decorum. Nobody's daddy was just whipping it out in front of me as a little kid and peeing on the side of somebody's house. Nobody's brother was doing that. Now, I do understand there are exceptions to this, but I'm talking about the culture that I grew up in. It was, yes, peeing in the woods, peeing on the grass, peeing on the bayou. Yes, I was around it, but it was like not like this. Shamelessly just out, shamelessly just doing your business on the side of a publicly funded building. We owned that building, especially and in particular, if you pay taxes in that local jurisdiction in California, that's your building. To me, it feels like even worse than if someone walked up to your own house and peed on it, because those are literally emblems of our institutions. And I'm not talking about some dead guy statue. Okay. I'm talking about like the government buildings. These government courthouse buildings, the Stanley Mosque, I mean, the buildings that are supposed to represent and be literally iconic of the institutions which they are operating, right? It's supposed to be it's supposed to be, call it to your mind. This is so symbolic. There it is, the iconic, what has happened is that we've reached a point because I think, this is speculation, but I think because like who are these people? Like where did this, why do we care? Why is that person the top comment on the news? Like probably safer to pee. Like who are these people? It makes me think some of these accounts, which have gotten voted into the top comments, not all of them, like some of them I think are either like actual robot algorithm bots or like, I mean, whose Instagram account commenting on public toilets needs to be a bunch of pictures of espresso? Like, let's just even look. I just want to see. Specialty coffee photography. I mean, I guess, girl, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. And, maybe I'm schizophrenic or something, but I just feel something is off. Okay, so we do have some more context here. Somebody's saying public restrooms in San Francisco is a huge issue. When I used to drive Uber Lyft, I needed to use a bathroom. I was denied to use the bathroom even at gas stations. I would either have to stop driving to get out of San Francisco or go to the gas station by the airport just to use a bathroom. And he's saying it's gotten worse as seen here, but that's confusing because as seen here, there is a public bathroom open. So this comments or see again, even that, you know, it's just hard to like even know what to make of this. Because down here he's saying as seen here, there's no bathrooms available. And that's not the point of this video at all. Did the people that responded say anything? No. No. No one addressed that. It's just kind of like, I mean, maybe a lot of these is real people. Maybe they're all real people, but just I'm just trying to bring to your attention the intersection between your knee-jerk reaction of what you think about something and whether you're willing to re-examine it. Maybe you did re-examine it and you actually do just believe, even when there's public restrooms right next to it, that so many people are urinating on our public buildings and in our public walkways and public spaces, or even someone's private business. Maybe you've reached this point in the video and you still think, yeah, knee jerk. We should definitely have grown men peeing out in public, not with no shame. And women or women. Maybe you still think that, but something about this don't feel right to me. And I know some of y'all may share in this sentiment of like, it's better than going in the public one, but it's like, why is that the knee jerk? I'm sitting here saying, I don't really know, but it's just, I'm talking about my feelings. That's why I started this video with saying, just hear me out. Okay. Just feelings. But I just feel, and I would like you to consider how far down this slope we're going to let it slip. I'm not talking about isolated incidents where somebody has a mental health or somebody's whatever, isolated incidents, that maybe there's a good reason or something. Maybe there's no bathroom around. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this story that had a bathroom and still people peeing on the wall of the building. And then the top or the first appearing comments are people laughing at it. Haha, what did you expect? Haha, you thought he was going to answer your question, even though he was doing kind of like uncivilized thing. And I mean, some of y'all are going to say, why do you need to be civilized? Well, I'm just trying to appeal to like, if there's going to be cities, maybe there should be some rules of engagement. Maybe there should be some rules of, all right, I'll give up my freedom to pee out publicly on the street if the tax dollars provide me with a bathroom. And I do think that it is, I'll just tell you, I don't want to live somewhere where it's like, yeah, let's just pee out in the street. And there's like, I think that's what caused the plagues in the Middle Ages and stuff. It was like, why there was a dark ages. I mean, that's at least what they tell us about history is that, there's like period of whole history missing because people were like dying and just keeling over because there was a horrible plague going around. And the plague was largely in part because they were just people just peeing in the streets and doing other things in the streets. And there wasn't like, it being disposed of. I mean, even all the way back to ancient Indian civilizations, they had like toilet rooms where you went and then it was drained, it would drain out. Like you keep it separate because like stuff it's just kind of, hazardous to other humans. And so it's like a bio waste or whatever. So it's like, I personally would like to know that if I'm going to go to a city, there's certain rules of engagement. And I think like, if there's a bathroom right there, is a public bathroom and you could go in it, like I said, taking for granted that this is true. I would just like the comments to say, if this reporting is true, maybe y'all can stop doing that. Maybe they should go into the bathrooms. But it's like, of course, people are entitled to the First Amendment right to free speech. People are entitled to say, ha ha ha, emoji, ha ha ha. This is so funny. This is so funny. And he shouldn't have to explain himself. And it's safer for him to do that than urinating on the side of our buildings. People are allowed to say that. I'm not trying to say they shouldn't be allowed to think that and say it. What I'm trying to say is to the people who this video is going to reach, the people watching this video, I just invite you to re-explore your knee-jerk reactions to certain things and maybe explore, like we did here, a few different nuances on how maybe we don't need to necessarily paint the broadest stroke of all time that everybody can pee all over everything in our cities. Maybe we do. I don't know. I'm just inviting y'all to think about it. Personally, I think my opinion is there's got to be a line, a threshold. We got to draw it somewhere or else we're not going to have cities. We're not going to have civilization. We're going to have to be going back to living in the woods and the mountains and the underground and the caves and the wherever, because the cities are going to be like, yeah, you can go there and just act any kind of freaking way. if that appeals to y'all, continue on the path of thinking anybody and everybody can take a shit on the side of the building at any time. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. Love you, meet again. Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballanger. Shots been fired. Wanna tell that? Say it to my face though. Now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in a group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. As we go, how it all turned out.